Hong Kong women are choosing cats over kids, and I am here for it. What is up, people? Welcome back or to another video. For those of you who are new around here, welcome. I'm Jade, the child-free PT, and I am super grateful to have you come and join us. So as you can see from the title that I just shared in the intro, Hong Kong women are choosing cats over kids. And obviously this headline caught my attention. For those of you who have been around here for a lot longer, you'll know that I am the craziest cat lady around. I am obsessed with my boy Ozzy. And loads of people used to say this to me when I was younger as a kind of almost a threat, shall we say? Like, I'm gonna end up a crazy cat lady. And I used to be like, I don't see the problem with that personally. So yeah, we don't need a baby, we have a cat. Hong Kong women say no to having children as experts scratch their heads at ways to reverse trend. Downward trend of births points to impact on schools, workforce, and key sectors of a city's economy. And other places in crisis are offering baby bonuses and generous parental leave allowances for people to encourage people to basically have kids. Now, I've got some of the data both from Hong Kong and other parts of Europe where they are also experiencing a decline in births. So according to these guys, the population is supposedly declining. I found it really interesting that they called it a trend. Now, I do understand that they mean trend as in a trend of numbers and data. I get it on that perspective, but it also sounds a bit ambiguous in the sense that they might be saying it as like it's a trend that people are hopping onto, you know, that, oh, there's this trend to be proud of being child-free and all of this. And I think it's a lot of the time, and a lot of women will probably agree with me on this, at a certain age, someone thought that when you mentioned you were being child-free, you would do it. You're doing it because you were going through a phase and that you would grow out of it, or you'd eventually fold to pressures or something like that. But, you know, we all know it's not a trend. It's a lifestyle choice. It's the same as, like, for me, it's the same as choosing to live a healthy lifestyle consistently. It's an active choice. There's a reason behind why I've chosen it. And I'm pretty sure you as a viewer and as a, you know, consumer of this content you have your own valid reasons as to why you don't wish to procreate either. But there was a part of the article that I read, and it said the younger generation no longer buys the concept of carrying on the family name, said Yip, who has tracked Hong Kong's birth rate for decades. They no longer called themselves childless, but child-free, and see it in a positive way. That indeed signals more issues ahead. Schools are apparently having to close because they simply do not have enough enrollment, because they do not have enough children going into the schools. Now, I do know that in Asia, in many parts of Asia, specifically a place like Hong Kong, it's very academia oriented. So there are probably more schools than humans, because it's a big deal to like go to school, to get good grades, to get a university degree, to get a really good job, you know, like really high-end jobs, you know, like doctor, surgeon, teachers, you know, these kind of jobs are really looked upon, and you're kind of put on a pedestal, shall we say, if you do these jobs. And fair play to those people who do study for that long and do these kind of jobs as well. But it's almost like if you don't do those jobs, you're like an epic failure. And one of the ladies in the article who they interviewed, the kid, actually mentioned that was one of her biggest worries, was the whole school system, like the pressures, and how she didn't want to put another child through that. And this is what she said. Children nowadays are expected to learn many things, take part in a lot of courses, and go through rounds of interviews just to get into a good school. It's not only about the emotional stress, but also the financial burden. If I can't provide my child with the best, maybe I should not give birth at all. She and her husband adopted a cat last year and regarded it as a member of the family. They have stopped talking about babies. The change in attitudes over time is reflected in the data. And this woman literally hit the nail on the head. Not only is she actually really worried for her child's future because of the mindset surrounding schools and academia, and they really push kids to get these top grades at a very young age. It's highly competitive to get into a really good school, a really good university as well. She actually said, and I think everybody will agree with me, that everybody needs to understand this concept, and I will highlight it once again. If I can't provide my child with the best, maybe I should not give birth at all. And that for me was like, this woman frigging gets it. Like, no wonder these are one of the main reasons specifically for myself. I don't feel like I can give them the best shot at life. I don't feel like I can give them the best financial freedom and, you know, security until at least they're a young adult, to be able to provide for them and be able to support them. But one thing this lady mentioned, which I could really, really resonate with myself, was what she mentioned about the emotional stress of all of this competition from such a young age, of where, you know, you have to get all these top grades and you have to be the best. And you know what? One of the things that freaks me out about having kids is, what if I have a child like myself who is not naturally academic and who struggles with these declining birth rates? There were many countries across the globe who were also experiencing this and desperately tried to reverse it with said baby bonuses. The shortage of babies has spurred several places into action to reverse these birth trends, with Scandinavian countries taking the lead with generous benefits for parents. In Sweden, with a total fertility rate of 1.7, both parents receive a combined 480 days of parental benefits per child, referring to the money one gets to be able to stay home with the children instead of working, looking for work, or studying. Now, I can imagine there's going to be a spur of people like trying to move to these Scandinavian countries, because I have heard from other people that their benefits are actually quite alluring. I have heard that in Norway, it's actually frowned upon to go back to work early from maternity leave, whereas in other countries, they kind of almost praise it. I know definitely that's a case in the United Kingdom, because I've worked in many places where obviously my colleagues have gone off on maternity leave, and it's almost like a badge of honor the earlier you come back. And I've always just found that really sick, that people actually want to celebrate this poor woman who's probably sleep deprived and trying to bond with her child, and you guys are praising her for coming back to work. It's almost like a praise, or like a, oh, well done, you're so strong. And I can't stand that kind of mindset at all. Let me know if that is the mindset in your country as well. But I know definitely in the UK, I don't really like that, at least in these Scandinavian countries. And I have read that Norway specifically, you know, you're encouraged to stay at home. You're encouraged to, you know, enjoy your baby in the first year or so, when you need the most support from both parents, and you know, you want to be at home bonding with your child. So also, parents in Denmark, which also has a total fertility rate of 1.7, get 52 weeks of paid parental leave. Now that is quite nice. Earlier this year, Japan seized what it said was possibly a last chance to reverse its declining birth rate by introducing a raft of unprecedented measures, boosting government subsidies for child rearing, strengthening access to childcare services, and changing the cultural mindset by encouraging more fathers to take paternity leave. Now, I do appreciate that reading through these, although there's no price for me, there's no baby bonus that I would take to reverse my mind personally, is that at least they're trying to support parents, at least. Whereas in other countries, like I said before, it's almost like this kind of badge of honor, like you can have this many kids and come back in 6 weeks, or you can go straight to work from the hospital. It's kind of like even more praise. And for me, in my personal opinion, the reasons for being child free run a lot more deeply than just, oh, I want more time with my child at home, or oh, I want more money, I want more of this, I want to bond with it more, I want to be able to put it in the best school. It's just, these are surface level issues for me personally. So yeah, there's no price for me at all. I wouldn't take a baby bonus, no matter how many millions of dollars, because there's still a risk that it's going to come out as unhinged as myself, and ain't no money going to help that. So let me know down below your thoughts. Let me know what the parental rules and regulations are in your countries. What is maternity and paternity leave like where you are? Thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you give this video a massive thumbs up. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I'm going to catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.